gosh! Can we please go back to the feather? Heck, even the needle! You pause, hammer poised over his knee. Harvey's eyes widen, hope sparking in them as he raises his hands placatingly. Doesn't that sound so much better? Just put the hammer down, all right? Please? He tries to inch away as you creep closer, but freezes when you rest the hammer against his leg. You tilt your head. You need time to consider it. The thing is, he's just too perfect. Colors too bright and pastel, skin unnaturally smooth like plastic. He didn't seem real when you first saw him, grinning and waving at you from his booth, repeating the same words over and over as you clicked on him, like a toy. Toys are made to be played with, aren't they? There's no way you could mistake him for fake now. Bruises bloom across his face, dark and vivid against his too pale skin. Up close, you can see the pinpricks from the needle earlier, thin streaks of blood smeared across his cheeks. They probably trail all the way up and down his body, too, though you can't exactly ask him to take his clothes off without seeming like a creep. Well, a different kind of creep. He's real, flesh and blood real, beneath the facade you've cracked beyond repair. But as much as you want to shatter it to nothing, well, there's only so much you can break something before there's nothing left. You lean back and nod. Harvey's shoulders start to slump in relief. They tense up again when you raise the hammer, arms raised to cover his face. No, wait! It takes him a few moments to realize you haven't hit him. One pale blue eye peeking through his fingers, staring up at you. You can't help it. You laugh, sudden and sharp. He curls in on himself, pure animal terror, slowly draining away to be replaced by confusion, a hint of hope. For good measure, you fling the hammer to the side. Harvey flinches as it hits the ground with a dull thump. You could walk over to get it, but he'd have a head start on running away. If he even thinks of running. Any sensible person would have run by now, would have run when you first brought out the needle, jabbed it into his hand. Maybe he also feels it. That delight curling low in your stomach, that heady sensation filling your head, like you're drunk on it, the way he begs and cries and shies away from you. He must put on such a good show for a reason. You peer closer at his wide, terrified eyes. How would you be able to tell? Can he see it in your eyes? So you're done with the hammer, right? We're going back to the feather, right? You smile at him. He smiles back, hesitant, gaze darting to your hand as you dig through your pocket. Where did you put the thing? There. Oh, you! He lets out a nervous laugh. The needle is wonderfully light in your hand after the hammer. Well, I guess I just said you could go back to the needle, so go ahead. Only if you want a... Ow! His yelp fades into a whine as you dig the needle in his hand right in the center of the palm. That still just counts as one click. You know that, right? His breathing is quick and shallow, trying to hold your gaze with that strained smile. You barely hear the counter chime as you pull it out, then jab a bit higher, shallower, quick in and out. That only makes him twitch, teeth gritted. He's too used to the needle now. He bears your jabs quietly, staring off into the distance. Every time he starts up one of his canned quips, another barely restrained plea to slow down at least. You just dig in harder. Eventually he just stops talking, stops making any sounds, aside from his shaky breath. And that's not what you want. You frown, needle buried in the fleshy part of the hand below his thumb, and lean in. The bruises on his face are starting to darken, patches of dark red and purple. Burst blood vessels under the skin. Something wrong? You've still got a long way to go. He eyes you warily as you lean in. You grab his face to hold him in place, needle dipping way too close to his wide, terrified eyes. He tries to shove you off. What are you? Don't, no! The more he squirms, the more likely it is you'll actually stab his eye out by accident. You shove him down, press his face to the grass. He's babbling, trying to shove you off. You shift your hold to cover his eyes, and when he goes still in confusion, you take your chance. Needle point lined up to the center of a bruise. Push it in. Just a bit of blood spurts out, and Harvey makes a pain sound in the back of his throat, but otherwise holds still. Red wells up as you draw the needle out. Odd, you smear it over his cheek, down to the corner of his mouth. Carefully, you slip the bloodied needle between his lips. He makes a confused choke sound. Lips parting ever so slightly so it doesn't cut. Then you draw it out, most of the blood wiped off into his mouth. Then you let him go. Grimacing as you wipe the spit off the needle onto his suit, he pushes himself up away from you, expression twisted in confusion. What the hell? He swallows, winces. That'll be the taste of his own blood. Disgust seeps into his voice, bleeding through fear. What was that? What is wrong with you? You grin, baring your teeth, and he shuts up. You should look in a mirror. When you raise the needle again, he only swallows, plasters back on a shaky smile, only a little under 6,000, you think? Clicks to go. The sun is starting to set. by the time you finally think to check the counter again. Not too far from 25,000 now. It's almost over. Harvey gulps, following your gaze. He brightens. Hey, you're close. Just a little more. Ow! And you'll be set up for your operation, eh? You keep your eyes trained on the number as you jab as it ticks upward. Last one should be special, shouldn't it? Where should you put it? His face again? Reopen the one in the center of his hand? Hold on. Are those tears? You narrow your eyes, leaning in. They are! They make his eyes gleam in the sunlight so bright and lovely as he cringes away from you. You're torn between disappointment, it's almost over, and warm contentment. You did this. You did this to him. You even made him cry. Aww. Just one more click. You would have missed it if he didn't remind you. As if trying to make sure you wouldn't go over. He looks so earnest, smile looking more genuine now, relief clear in his voice. One last, huh? You boop his nose. He goes a bit cross-eyed, trying to follow it, then lets out a shocked laugh. He scrambles away from you, staggering to his feet, watching your hands, even when you slip the needle back into your pocket. The cheerful persona slips back on, snug as a glove, as he laughs and thanks you and hands over your money. His gaze follows you as you double back to grab the hammer, pack it into the back of your minivan, along with the bags of money. He doesn't stop you. Once you're back in the driver's seat, you look back through the window, Harvey's face indistinguishable at this distance. All you can tell is that he's slumped against the booth, bracing himself against the counter. You wave at him hesitantly. He waves back. Absolutely adorable. You will come back to say hi someday. You didn't even see the whole menu. Not that you needed it, but you do wonder what could have been worse than